Hello. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I wonder, for those who are watching, if you would introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your organisation and the services offered, and maybe a little bit about your role within that organisation as well.
Absolutely. So I'm Noelle Clancy, and I am the Health and Wellbeing Coordinator with the Silver Arch Family Resource Centre. So we're based in Neenah, and we have a few little outreach centres. We do lots of work predominantly in North Tipperary, obviously. So we have an outreach office in Newport. We're opening up a new one, all going well, in Bursacane. Obviously, we have the Neenah office. And obviously then we have many means and vehicles of reaching out to the people in our community in North Tipperary as well. So Silver Arch Family Resource Centre, it was all, there is a history to it. It started back in 1970. It was there predominantly to provide a service really for people who may have been finding themselves at a disadvantage, and also for our older population at that stage. So as the years evolved, and we, as always with every service, it comes and goes, and we add on and we take away. So now there's two main strands to the Silver Arch Family Resource Centre. So one would be providing the services towards the families and our community, and the other would be towards the health and wellbeing aspect of the Silver Arch Family Resource Centre. So I suppose really, that's where I fit in my role of the Health and Wellbeing Coordinator. So that would be my area. So Silver Arch, we do provide quite a lot of services, really. We have only been recently, in the last couple of years, we had applied for and awarded the title of Family Resource Centre. So that allows a lot more services to be delivered within the North Tipperary area. So we have, for all age groups, when you think about it, from the minute they're born up to, essentially our older population as well. So we have the community mothers, we have a parent support project, we have a program for the parents of children in care. We also have counselling service. My role, of course, is the Health and Wellbeing Coordinator. I'm probably missing something now, but straight off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, there's a lot that we've been able to do since we became the Family Resource Centre.
Okay, so becoming that has allowed you to offer a lot more services to people.
Certainly.
Okay, and so then if we kind of focus a little bit in on the health and wellbeing side of it, I suppose.
Yes.
Who comes to you? How do you help them?
So when I undertook the role of Health and Wellbeing Coordinator for Silver Arch Family Resource Centre, I suppose this is an area that we have focused on quite, more recently, even though it always has been there in some aspect, and we do, there's a great interlink with among all the projects and programmes within Silver Arch. But I suppose really the idea of the Health and Wellbeing Coordinator was to specifically target providing programmes and projects and services for people from the health and wellbeing aspect. So I have a few little remits within my role. So one would be coordinating and delivering the Healthy Food Made Easy programme. Okay. So that really, it's a 6-week nutrition programme that incorporates cooking tips. We have great discussions around what we eat, where we eat, how we eat. We discuss, budgeting tips. There's a little bit of sustainability work around it as well. We look at the benefits of where, when, how we shop. So that has been delivered to the general public, but also more recently we've been providing it towards our older population, for people who are living on their own, or for people who may have had reduced households, that suddenly things have changed for them, and now we look again at, and we know this, nutrition and the area of dietetics and nutrition has changed so much in the last couple of years. So we do a little bit around that. Then one of the other roles, and this is the part now where you're going to have to cut it out, I can tell you, that also, we incorporate elements of exercise. I mean, we know this is quite important to try and look at incorporating in our community also. So we've been doing chair aerobics over the last couple of years, and we also have been doing an 8-week easy exercise programme. And we hope to be able to deliver a new programme that is coming out all going well this year, and it's a green exercise program where we look at getting it. Essentially, it's a walking club, but where we are monitoring and supervising people, and facilitating people to come together. And we know the benefits of walking. It's free, it's easy, it's cheap. All you need is a good pair of shoes. Or was it somebody famous that said, there's no such thing as bad weather, it's just bad clothing, We will be looking at doing that as well. So, we look at our physical health, our mental health, and also our social health, because we kind of want to look at getting people socially engaged again in their community. We feel there has been a little bit of a gap around that in the last couple of years. Dare I mention the whole pandemic and the impact it has had on people. And again, we will be looking at towards what has been happening for our older people. All of our programs will be for everybody, but again, each of them will be tailored towards our older community as well. So we also have devised and have delivered a health and wellbeing program. Again, it's a 6-week program that we've been doing under the umbrella of the health and wellbeing program that I coordinate. So that has been where we look at all, a holistic aspect of our health and wellbeing. So we look at our physical health, again, our mental health, simple things of, are we sleeping well, are we eating well, are we getting enough exercise, how do we incorporate that into our daily routine, is there something we can do to facilitate that for you as well? And we always have a guest speaker coming in and talk to us too. It could be on anything from, again, the mental health, is it around physical health? So there, some of snippets of what we do really in terms of the health and wellbeing role and programme. So the Silver Arch Family Resource Centre, we are part of delivering a dementia cafe in Neenah and Ballina and Killaloe. So we are involved with Tipperary County Council as well as the other organisations that are involved in dementia. Now we know dementia affects everybody. We know there's early onset dementia, but I suppose really what we're trying to make people aware of, it's not an older person's disease, even though it might happen predominantly as we age, and that's just one of the factors. As we age, obviously many more things happen to us. Our health declines, maybe our mobility, our physical strength, our cognitive ability sometimes declines as well. But when we look at the dementia aspect of it as well, so we're involved with Tipperary County Council in raising awareness, and we hope to kind of get that rolling out again this year. So that has been fantastic too. But unfortunately, the dementia aspect of the awareness, we've been doing the cafes online. We would love to be able to host it face to face, but just at the moment, we just don't feel it's safe enough to bring people together who would be vulnerable as well, But there's always a silver lining to every cloud. And what we have found with us running this virtually, it has allowed us to be able to reach to people that may ordinarily not be able to attend a cafe in person. So there would have been, they might have had a physical barrier, or there might have been a geographical barrier or a language barrier, whereas we find that people have been coming online and just have been connecting online. So we've only had that up running for the last 6-7 months or thereabouts. So it's been great, and we are solid delighted with the outcome of it so far.
And as you said, there's a silver lining to something, and it is wonderful for us to discover there's another way for us to connect.
Absolutely. There really, really is. And again, isn't connection key to what we have in our community? Again, it's about creating your social contacts. Who can we reach out to when we need something? Where can we go? And that goes across the board for everything with Silver Arch Family Resource Centre. In fairness, we do signpost people. If we can't facilitate it in-house with, in any of our programmes, we have numerous agencies that we are connected with, or that we might be aware of, that we can, signpost people towards, that might be able to help them better.
So I might come to you with, I suppose, a little bit lost. I don't know what support I need. I know there's something missing. And it might not be that I get it exactly in your centre, but the person maybe I sit and speak with, whether it's you maybe or somebody else, might say, Sue-Ann, this is where we can connect you on.
Absolutely. And that's a benefit. Literally all it's a case of picking up the phone and ringing either ourselves, contacts the reception, obviously your first point of call, and they'll be delighted to, maybe discuss with you who might be best to serve you in-house. Then we can help you through that, and then we can discuss maybe what your needs and your wants are, and if there's anything we can provide, and then we can signpost you outside of Silver Arch Family Resource Centre. But we're very lucky, we have quite a huge array of skills and talents in-house as well. All of the people that work for Silver Arch, They're amazing. They're coming with so many talents, so many skills, so much experience, you know, of working with families, people in the community. So it's a privilege really to be able to work in Silver Arch Family Resource Centre.
It sounds fabulous. And can I just kind of backtrack a little? You mentioned some of the workshops that you've been running, the 6-week ones.
Yes.
And I presume they're going to roll out again in 2022.
Yes.
How can I join those, be it virtually or in person? But how do I connect with you to say, can I do that one, please?
So I suppose, if you don't mind me just going back to September, and September is always, you know, when we recognise Positive Ageing Week. Yes. For the first time ever last year in 2021, we actually held an event all week long for Positive Ageing Week. And that allowed us to just put on little events. Again, it's capturing an audience in a sense, but it's also providing a means of, you know, providing the workshops for people to come to us. So with that, it has allowed us to advertise what we deliver. It gave us a sense of what people really wanted in our community. Yeah. You know, it's amazing how you springboard from one thing onto another. So there is a kind of interlinking again, as I've said before, between everything that we deliver. So yeah, what we found is we advertise it locally. It goes on social media. We do have a database, so if we feel there's something coming up, if people want to be leave their name and their number, and we can contact them that way as well. So there's loads of means that we reach out to people. Obviously, we always miss somebody along the way, and that's just by virtue of the business that we're in too. But I think, you know, it's word of mouth, and not only do we have people coming directly to us that would be interested in doing workshops with us, or who want to attend a programme or do some sessions that we have running out in Silver Arch Family Resource Centre, but also their families or their neighbours, or maybe a carer can get in touch and just see, is there something maybe that's there for them as well. Because because at the end of the day, it's not just about the service itself, it's about those who are providing care, who are, you know, we all are, what's a community, you know, as they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, to look after someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, you know, the outreach, we'll say areas, you mentioned Newport and Borrisakane, and of course your Nina base, and then the Dementia Cafe. Again, like that, are services available there? Just are there days of the week people can pop in there or contact?
They would be. So our they would be family support workers that would be there, but they would be there on specific days. So I would recommend maybe for people either connect directly in with Silver Arch on our telephone number, which is 067 31800, or if they wanted to hop onto our website, which is silverarchfrc.ie, you know, that there will be the details there for them as well, for each individual family support worker or outreach worker within those areas as well.
I suppose if I'm watching this and I'm caring for someone, or I'm someone who maybe feels that I could do with a bit of help, what's the advice you'd give me?
Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. You know, I think a lot of people, we're all human at the end of the day, you know. It's like, where do we go for help? Just pick up the phone to anybody. If it's us in Silver Arch Family Resource Centre, if it's through another agency, you know, everybody is there to help. All we want to do is provide support to people in our community. You know, if it means it's going to benefit them as a parent, if it's going to benefit them as a child, if it's going to benefit them as a member of a community, as a neighbour, as a friend, really, that's what I would recommend.
Is get out and make that call.
Absolutely.
And check in with you. And I presume everything is in total confidence as well.
Always is, you know, and I mean, obviously we do discuss, you know, if we do feel people are in a vulnerable position, and, you know, there is we would be recognising how vulnerable people are as well, and maybe we might need to refer them on to another service.
And it was just because of the Dementia Cafe, and as you said, you know, that idea that it's not just an older person's, it can be for so many age groups. Again, like that, would you be encouraging family members to connect in with you about that?
Well, we would. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, all we are doing, we're a vehicle for providing the information, really. We are not the service, essentially, for providing information around dementia.
Okay.
What we would recommend, you know, if they make the call, that we would have a directory, I suppose, essentially, to describe it as that, of what services are out there for people who are living with dementia, maybe for their family or for their neighbours.
Okay.
But the dementia cafes themselves, we do just provide some information and signposting to the person who's living with dementia, to their family or to their carer, and also to other health professionals as well, because we're all learning about everything in life.
Yeah, and that's it. And I love that sense of, as you say, we're all learning, and it sounds very community-based. Everything that you offer, as you say, from the baby to supporting the parent, to supporting the teenager, to supporting the older
grandparents,
person.
older persons, your older neighbour, absolutely.
Yeah. And the carers, I suppose, as well. It's, you know, important to acknowledge those people as well. That there, as you said, there are supports there for those who are supporting others.
Absolutely, you know, and this is one of the big areas that we always talk about. You know, of it's nearly like, dare I use the analogy of the oxygen mask. You know, you can't provide support to somebody else unless you're caring for yourself as well. So I think we've gotten much better around that. But I suppose really what we do in Silver Arch Family Resource Centre is put in some of the means of doing that element of it as well.
Yeah, and just it's what's dawning on me is even some of the workshops that you mentioned, the 6-week ones, you know, I might be the carer, but to actually do the diet and nutrition or the walking, something that might be my support system, might be my oxygen mask.
Absolutely, and you know, we all know this. You mightn't know one solid person when you go into any of these programs and you come out and you could be the best friends with all or none, but you also have a lot more information, and you know where there's other things going on, or you know where else you can go for some support and help as well.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's a wonderful service, or services that you offer to such a wide range of the community. So I suppose, just to mention again, Newport?
Well, predominantly Nina.
Predominantly Nina.
Absolutely, and then we have the outreach in Newport and Bursakane.
Okay. And of course then the cafe, then again just for people.
And we do the virtual, but everything, you know, hasn't our world gotten so much smaller by virtue of, you know, who would have thought 3 years ago that we would have all been connecting online? Now it is difficult, and we do get tired of doing it sometimes, but isn't it fantastic that we have another means of connecting with people too?
I love that, that's absolutely fantastic. I suppose for anybody watching, the details are going to come up there, so that you have a website.
So we have a website, we have Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram, where we regularly advertise programs and information that might be relevant to people.
Fabulous. And of course the phone number then as well, where people can ring Monday to Friday, I presume?
Monday to Friday, and you know, really all you need to do is just connect in with our reception, and they will pass on any relevant information to all the other members of staff as needs.
Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Noelle.
No, thank you, Sue Ann.